Hi, I'm Lizzy Friedman, this is Inside Ambition, and you're on 34th in Art, where we talk all things arts and entertainment in and around Drexel University. This week, we're taking a look at Essential, the Drexel Co-Op Theatre Company's latest production of Verbatim theater project. This is a project I personally am really passionate about. I've been working as one of 3 assistant directors on this production since the summer, and I'm so excited to share it with the Drexel community. And hell, why not? The whole world, too. What is verbatim theater, you might ask? Well, it's literally just like it sounds. It's verbatim words that people have said and people act them out. It's not like a normal script where an author is like deliberately planning out the words that a person is going to say. It's real people and they're real unfiltered words. Each year, the Drexel Co-Op Theatre Company produces a handful of shows, and this year we've adapted with the times and devised our own virtual show. Cast members of Essential spent all of the fall term getting to know and interviewing one subject of a person that was deemed as an essential worker during the COVID-19 pandemic. Their interviews highlighted the struggles felt through these troubling times, not only with the pandemic, but with subsequent national events. You know, the hellfire storm that was the year 2020. Not only is Essential based on essential workers, but the series also highlights voices by being performed verbatim based on individual interviews. Director Bill Fennelly is here with us to talk more about this long-lasting project. Hey Bill, nice to see you.
Hi Lizzy, great to see you.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm so excited to dive deeper into this project and let the people know.
Great, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we've been working on this project together for a while now, and I know you have kind of an interesting backstory of how the inspiration came to you. I'd love to hear it again.
We were supposed to be, here at Drexel, we were supposed to be producing the Laramie project last, we were going to be going into rehearsals about a year ago. We were going to be producing it in the spring of 2020. And then COVID happened and we decided to pause that production, and we thought, well, we'll postpone it to the following year. And there was so much happening in 2020 that when it came time to talk about the season, I said, as strongly as I feel about the Laramie project, I feel like it might not be the right story for us to tell when we return and when we produce work in 2021. There was so much chaos around COVID and what it was and how to stay safe. And I thought those are the stories I'm really interested in. These people who at great risk to themselves and to their families and to their well-being continue to go to work to keep our society open and moving forward. And they are heroes, people who went to work, who kept going to work as everyone was pivoting, as everything was shutting down, changing, working remotely. And the question of like essential worker was very, very hot in the spring. Who was an essential worker? Who wasn't an essential worker? What does that even mean? And we started there with the question, with looking at essential workers, but it very quickly sort of blossomed outward to embrace the whole idea of what does essential mean, who is essential, also what is essential, and that became the foundation for the investigation. And it felt timely. It felt like we were able to examine this very challenging time we've all lived through. But it allowed us a way to look at it through an angle that was about positivity and how we, as a collective, as a society, reach out to each other and keep us moving forward. So that's how it was birthed.
Yeah. On that, I think that the verbatim aspect is like what really makes it so great, like these unfiltered words by these real people who aren't, characters written up by an author and like very calculated words. They're just the words that these people just wanted to say and it felt truth to. And I think that that is so beautiful. And it's been really, really amazing for me to be able to like analyze and work with actors, this text and like this language and how like raw it is really. And it gives such a great sense of connection. And that kind of a little bit goes into my next question of how you feel Essential will impact audiences.
Oh, wow. So I will speak about Essential from my experience of Essential. And while the idea began as initially as a way of making sure that our students were cared for academically and creatively, I was not prepared for what happened. Two individuals who were similar in some ways, but very distinct in many other ways, who had been isolated and remote for so long during a very intense period, to have people, human beings, in a space that was about hearing each other and seeing each other and having that be reciprocal, because we tried to train our students to create interview spaces that were about empathy, deep listening, and making the subjects feel that they could be trusted, because we wanted to be trusted, right? That was very important to us. And to experience 24 distinct moments where two human beings who had been isolated and remote and living through this terrifying time were hearing each other and seeing each other was so powerful. And we've tried to pull that feeling into these 24 stories that we're sharing. We're now in the editing phase, and so I'm watching each of the stories 5, 6, 7 times, and it's a really beautiful exercise in slowing down and listening. It's not a television show. It's not a movie. It is gentle. It is quiet, and it invites us, the audience, to listen with our whole being to the person who is in front of us. So I think the Essential Project is a tremendous opportunity after this really difficult year to be able to feel connected with the world around you, and maybe to hear perspectives that you hadn't considered. I think it's really beautiful, and it is 24 parts. Some episodes are like 5 minutes, some are 17 minutes. So it really is. I would encourage everyone to watch all of them, really, and to go on the full journey. And you can watch a couple in a night, or you could watch one a night if you want to give yourself the full journey of it. But I'm excited to share this grand experiment with our Drexel community. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited as well. I know that you really care deeply about every single one of these stories, and a lot of the subjects are actually like personal connections of yours. But do you have any specific profession or a specific story that like you really feel so excited to kind of release and let the people hear?
Well, really all of them, right? They all, you feel sort of like a parent. You're like, oh, I love all of them. And that really is true. I think the thing that excites me the most is the diversity of stories that we have. We have many stories of people you would think, oh, well, this falls under the category of like a traditional essential worker. We have doctors, we have a virologist, we have 2 nurses. And then we have stories that are really on the other end of the spectrum that I think really push against this idea of what is essentiality, what has been essential in this moment. We have a fabulous drag queen. We have a dramaturg from a regional theater company. We have balloon sculptors, and we have husbands who were flight attendants who were COVID positive and had to negotiate that while also dealing with job loss. It's an incredible array of people of faith, people of science, people who care about moving us. The thing that unites all the stories is these are all human beings who believe in us enough to keep going, right? And I think what the real takeaway from Essential is that we're all essential. That the moniker of Essential really includes every single one of us who has tried to keep our homes, our communities, our cities, our states, this country moving forward in a positive direction. These stories are very, very inspiring. They're only 24. There are millions of stories out there. And it's a really good reminder, I hope, that like we need each other to get to the other side of this, and that without that, it will be very precarious. But like we will get to the other side of this, and there are a lot of us, so many of us, who are essential in very particular ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was interesting to see the progression of what that term meant. Like in the beginning, in March, April, it was like, okay, grocery store workers, doctors, okay, got it. And then it's like, wait, no, it's more than that, you know? That's like, we need other people to keep the world functioning. I can't wait to see that one. I can't wait to see all of them, honestly. Since I've kind of stopped seeing the new versions, I'm like missing all of them. I'm like, I'm wondering how they're doing. Well, I'm so excited to be able to see it come March. And
I think April.
oh, April.
I think we're having a meeting about it today, but I think it's going to be mid-April. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see it with the date to be determined whenever it comes streaming to YouTube. And I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to work with you on this and be able to experience all of this and be able to bring it to the Drexel community and to the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all of your work on it. It's just beautiful. You and the rest of the directing team did such a beautiful job, and the design team. It's been an incredible team, and every single person has been essential.
Yes, that word keeps going further and further. Well, thank you so much for coming on 34th in Art today, Bill. It was nice talking to you.
Good to see you.
Essential brings real people's stories to life, which is great in a time where we can all be feeling pretty disconnected. It's nice to know that everyone is having as crappy as a time as I am. And it was filmed in each of the actors' respective homes, all by themselves. And it's not through Zoom. I mean, thank you, Zoom Theater, but also no thank you, Zoom Theater. Well, I do really hope that you all watch this production. I've learned so much from it, and I know that audience members will gain so much insight from it as well. And it's really kind of amazing how we've been able to pull this production off. Thanks so much for sticking around with me today, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at inside_ambition and subscribe to us on YouTube for all of the latest. I'll see you right here at the same address next week. Bye for now!